Hello, I'm just making two videos now talking about what I'm offering with my two DNS packages that I'm offering alongside the various commodities that we'll be making available through the Universal Modular Interface and the technologies that shall manifest themselves as we start to move forward into the program of creating the platform of Able City and the zone of ENA in Gloucestershire. So the first two DNS packages, the first DNS package, which has two DNS addresses, which will be given to you once you take a package that we're offering in conjunction with this DNS profile. These are the home packages, the home and family packages, whatever that may be, and literally cost £10 per IP, per DNS address per year. So it's a £20 package for both DNS addresses for the family and home package. And what these show off for, well, the first one is the CAPS, sorry, not the CAPS one, the subversion DNS address, which enables, basically, this is put there simply to enable registration and access at a given time when we start to launch proactively the lifebook systems that I'm setting up, that I've been setting up for the last 5 or 6 years in this location, primarily in the location of Gloucestershire, firstly. And what this will enable you to have, the subversion DNS, will be access once to your whole home system, provided that the connections are good enough through your television and through your internet and on your router and everything else. It's possible for one of my people who are selling you these commodities to put this DNS address directly onto your router, and therefore everything in your home hub and on your system will run through this DNS, which is on TLS encrypted. A TLS encrypted network, which basically means it's highly encrypted. There's no security risk or anything like that. It's much more secure than your standard DNS addresses that you may receive from your internet protocol companies or Google or anything else. But not, that comes as standard. So basically, what has been put into the server that is running this DNS is a high level of access to certain screening possibilities from the lifebook that will enable you to view firstly the universal stories as they start to become manifest, rather than watching standard normal earthly television and everything else that you may watch in the evening when you come back from work or whatever. This will enable you to have a far greater scope and access to what we are setting up the lifebook in the first place for, which is to actually view the universal stories that we are setting up and enabling people to view and interact with through their media equipment in their house. And ultimately, the plan with this is to actually get certain people who are interested in technical things and technology and computer world and everything else to start to get access to using a kind of rudimentary command prompt script that they can start to learn how to program in light web interface and set up their own console and own package on the system. If that's not for you, that's fine. But for the young up and coming who may want to try things and learn about computer science and all that sort of thing, there hopefully should be support given for these people to start to get set up on our systems and start to integrate some of their artisanal knowledge, their creativity, their artworks, their scientific developments, things they're doing at school, everything else, as they develop into, start to create their own knowledge acquiescence database. The plan with this is to start to integrate some of this knowledge and technology and turn it into some kind of technology, really. that can create like a future reality where the person who is on the console can start to develop their own business as they go along and turn it into something that is, first of all, contributory for the community, but ultimately, rewarding for them because their contribution should be acknowledged and they'll start to receive accreditation for what they're putting in. So that's a little bit about the subversion DNS and what we're going to set up with that. For those who want to take a business package, I'm putting on another video to talk about. If you want to take it further and you've got some good ideas about creating your own business and everything else, then there's a couple of other DNS addresses that we can give you. And I'll come on to that in the next video. The second DNS address is the Chrome DNS, which basically equips the locality and the system with a kind of Christian AI, a sort of network with a good human oversight on a system that does not sort of take the work out of your hands. It keeps human involvement, human interaction, and human oversight on the system, and enables the interface to be very user-friendly. So when you start interfacing with the media that you're viewing on the Subversion DNS, the Christian AI will start to enable you to have a sort of master control of the whole thing, where your better wishes are observed. Things you want to do for other people get implemented without you having to do too much work, but you will still be acknowledged for your input and your creativity in setting up a system that helps other people or does things for the community and all that sort of thing. There's something on the Christian AI, the Chrome DNS server, that deals with something called contributions technology, and this is what analyzes what you're putting in, the effort you're putting in, the work you're putting in, the amount of money you're putting in, wherever it may be, whatever your contribution, and it weighs up your contribution and ensures that you get accounted for in the overall remit of the whole UMOSRAS ethos and the whole UMOSRAS platform. So the reality will be that, at some level, using this DNS system on your router, on your equipment, wherever you put it, wherever you put these addresses, you can put them anywhere you like. Once you pay for the package, that's not a problem. But it will enable you to have access to basically more of a network of a sort of AI network, which helps facilitate the process of making, connecting to people, interfacing with people you want to talk to, and at the same time, it'll analyze your contribution as you start to develop the process of developing your own remit within the console and your existing media equipment that you're interfacing with. So those two hand in hand make up the package for the home and family network, which for non-commercial residences and localities in this county, I'll be simply charging £10 per DNS address. So it'll literally be £20 for the package for both of them, which work together very nicely. And when you have this, it'll, just in order to continue your use of it, you just have to pay a direct debit of £20 per year. But if you want to use this for a business level, or you want to add additional DNS addresses to the standard 2 business DNS addresses that I'm going to give in the next video, then all you have to do is, literally pay, another amount for the. I can incorporate these DNS addresses into the package for the whole business module as well, and we can arrange a price for having extra ones, or chopping and changing, or using some of the home technologies or realities with the business modules. But I'll come on to that in the next video. And you can certainly have a month trial using these DNS addresses before you decide whether you want to actually go through with it and pay for using them. But as the reality of UMOSRAS starts to become manifest, it may become more pertinent and more it may make more sense to you in the actual context that we're living in, the platform of UMOSRAS and Enable City and everything else, to start to have this. If you're have enough foresight, you can see that the reality is going to be everything that we believe it's going to be here at UMOSRAS and SAFCOMMS, then certainly go ahead and make the purchase. Try the DNS and see if you like the system. And when you start to get interface and technology coming through, then you'll understand why it's definitely a good thing to get and very much worth your while. So I look forward to communicating with all of you and getting involved in the local lifebook interface with all the people who want to share in this reality with us together. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Bye bye.